Alright, so we've showed you kind of how we haul our motorcycles. The next question we had about the motorcycles were what type they were, how big they were, how we used them. So I'll start with Trina since this is the last one we unloaded here. Trina's is a 2024 Honda Grom, and that's what it's called in America. It's still a 125cc motorcycle. It is overseas, I think it's called a MSX 125. It's a 125cc motorcycle made by Honda. It is a legitimate motorcycle. It's not a scooter. It is not a moped. It is a legitimate motorcycle. It has the 2024 has a 5-speed transmission. Top speed on this thing is about 62, 63 miles an hour. This is what Trina started out on, and she loves it. I like riding it. It's a pretty fun bike to play with, to ride. We've done a couple of modifications to it. So right out the gate, we did what they call the rear fender delete. We put the Yoshimura fender delete kit on it, which basically shortens it up and takes the signal lights in a little bit. We put the Kemimoto motorcycle rack on the back. She has some, they're actually like universal, come from Redline Motorsports in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They're basically just the bar end mirrors. This is the second set she had. The first set we actually picked up off of Amazon. They were really cheap and they kept coming loose. These right now seem to be a better set of mirrors. We took her factory mirrors off. What she called Mickey Mouse mirrors on the Grom. They come standard, they stick up here, look like Mickey Mouse ears. But we put a aftermarket windshield or windscreen on the motorcycle. On Trina's motorcycle, I think it helped her tremendously. I put the same windshield on my motorcycle, and it created a lot of turbulence up around my helmet area. So I'll probably end up doing a different windscreen on my motorcycle. But
I think yours probably needs to be bigger.
Yeah, my windshield?
Yeah.
It does. So there again, if you have any questions or any comments about a Honda Grom, feel free to comment in the description below. I actually like this little motorcycle. It's fun. It's a fun, seems to be a forgiving motorcycle. Trina likes it. I've actually tried to get her to upgrade to the XR150, which is what I have, so I could get me a newer bike, a bigger motorcycle. I don't think she quite wants to do that. She don't want to let go of her Honda Grom just yet. Unless you do.
Mm-mm. No, I like it.
The gas mileage on Trina's Honda Grom. So roughly the computer will tell you an actual average, and it's her average on this one stays around 120, 126 miles to the gallon. I don't think we've ever run this motorcycle all the way out of gas. The tank on this motorcycle, I think, is it's like a 1.9 gallon tank with and does not have a reserve any whatsoever. But with 26 miles to the gallon, I mean, you got a 200 some mile range on this little motorcycle. And I promise you, we've never even got close to running out of gas. I think by the time I have to fill my motorcycle up, Trina's usually got about a half a tank. We fill hers up as well. And literally, I can fill both motorcycles up for less than $10. All right, my motorcycle is filthy because we ride it on the back, and every time we go camping, it either rains and we get road grime all over it, or like today, GPS brought us into this campground down a dirt road the back way in, and just all the dust from the dirt road basically kicked up on my motorcycle, which I've tried to wipe it down a little bit. We had it clean, but I guess it's a give and take. Trina rides her motorcycle on the front, that's why hers has bugs all over it. But another upgrade that I guess I won't call it upgrade, but another addition we do to the motorcycles is we have the Kemimoto saddlebags, which we just got here to the campsite. We hadn't put them on yet. I can go grab a set of those and show you what those look like. All right, like I said, both motorcycles, we have the Kemimoto saddlebags for these motorcycles. which I happen to like. It's the click of 4 buckles, and they're off and on. Got these carrying handles. You can carry them like a bag, throw them on, which is typically what we do when we ride them down the highway. We take the saddlebags off. Once we get to camp, we throw the saddlebags on, and we keep them there pretty much all weekend. They click on here with 4 little buckles. And they're there. Mine, kind of the same. It's the exact same set of saddlebags. Mine are set up a little different because mine won't go all the way up under it, but virtually the same setup. 4 buckles, and they're in place. We're not affiliated with Kemimoto in no way, shape, or form. We can be if they want us to be, but right now we're not. These saddlebags are pretty deep, pretty wide, and they zip out if you need to extend them for more room. We actually, I think in our Roan Mountain video, I don't know that we actually videoed it, we went grocery shopping with the motorcycles and put milk and everything in our saddlebags. But that's the saddlebags on mine. But to let you know what kind of motorcycle I have, it's the Honda XR150L. It is a dual sport motorcycle, and they just introduced them in America in 2023. This is a 2023 model, Honda XR150L. It's basically a dual sport, off-road, on-road use motorcycle. 150 cc's. Top speed on it is about 65. A good all-around motorcycle. I've hauled both Trina and I on this motorcycle, climbing the mountains in Roan Mountain. We actually had comments of people wanting to know how we rode 2 people on this motorcycle, and it wasn't that bad. It actually done very well in the mountains. You know, I would not want to try to ride in traffic with 2 people and actually have a lot of horsepower left over, because it didn't. It was pretty much pegged out the entire time climbing the hills with 2 people. Other than that, with it just me on it, it's a great motorcycle. Some of the upgrades I've done to it so far, I've actually upgraded Trina's motorcycle more than mine. We simply put the saddlebags on this motorcycle. I've upgraded the skid plate on the bottom of this motorcycle, and I put a windshield on this motorcycle. Other than that, I hadn't really done anything to my motorcycle. We do everything to Trina's. These come in 2 colors, black and white at this time. I don't have a preference. I like both of them. Both of them are good looking motorcycles. I think when we bought this one, they had no white ones available, and it was months before we had any come in. So I'm in the here and now business. I wanted it, and I wanted it now. So I got a black one. Trina's was white. I think at her actual year model, I think it come in white, orange, and like a gold color. Was it that gold looking color? But she liked white. She calls hers Little Jewel. So my motorcycle, the gas mileage on this motorcycle, the Honda XR, it is very basic as far as the gauges go. You don't have a tachometer. You've basically got a neutral light indicator, a turn signal indicator, a high beam indicator, and a speedometer with a mileage trip and your total miles, if you want to look at it. That's why this motorcycle, you can pick this motorcycle up around I think $2,700 is like the MSRP on this motorcycle. But the gas mileage, the tank on this motorcycle, I think is like a 2.6 gallon tank, and then it's got a half a gallon reserve tank on it. They say that the average on this motorcycle is around 100 to 120 miles per gallon. I haven't found that to be the case. I think usually around 80 to 100 miles to the gallon is probably what I'm getting. I may drive it a little harder than what they intended the normal use to be for this motorcycle, but I find I get about 80 to 100 miles to the gallon, which is still a lot. That's still really good. I usually set the trip, since it does not have a fuel gauge on it. I set the trip on it when I fill up, and I run it to about 100, 120 miles, and I fill up again. Usually that's about half the tank. It takes maybe a gallon and a half to fill back up. Like I said, with Trina's motorcycle, I usually fill up both of them at the same time for less than $10. And I talked about the MSRP on my motorcycle. My motorcycle MSRP for 27, I think it's like 2730 something, 2731 is the MSRP on this motorcycle. Then you're going to have your taxes and tags and your dealership fees, which are going to put it up in the threes, maybe $4,000 range. Depends on what dealer you buy it from. The Honda Grom that we purchased, Trina's Honda, MSRP on that bike is like $3,400, $3,499, and depending on what dealer you buy it from, again, will depend on the fees, the taxes and the tags and things like that. I'm not going to really go into detail where I got this motorcycle from, but we bought Trina's from a different dealership, and I probably had about $1,500 in fees from this motorcycle. You know, I weren't dissatisfied. I thought I got a pretty good fair deal. However, when we bought the Honda Grom from that dealership, we basically had no fees. It was, I thought, was a steal. That dealership done us really well. And if I buy another motorcycle, or when I buy another motorcycle and give Trina this motorcycle, I'm going to shop with those folks. Again, I hope we've been helpful and maybe helping you pick out some of the ways that you want to haul your motorcycle, or actually what motorcycles you want to carry. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I try to respond as quick as possible. I do know that as far as off-road, the type of off-roading we do, these motorcycles have been fine. We ride them into town to buy groceries, we ride them in the mountains, we ride them to hiking trails. As you see in some of our videos, we ride them everywhere. We've rode them in the Florida Keys, hopping from island to island. So, if you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll put the links below for our carriers and a little bit of descriptions about the motorcycles. Don't forget to check out our affiliate links. Some of this equipment that we use are in our affiliate links. So we don't make a lot of money off of it, but if you purchase some items off of our affiliate links, it might help put some money towards our gas money for our trips. Thanks for watching.